She's our alpha female. She just turned 10. And in the wild, that would be probably her lifespan, which is an actually long lifespan there. A lot of people ask me about captivity, but I think the oldest that I've heard of in captivity is 19 years. So we're hoping for that. And maybe even more, right, Alaska? Have a seat. Sit. Come on. Good girl. Stay. Nice job. My talk title today is Dream Maker. And so I'm going to talk about dreams and having dreams and dreams coming true and the rough road along the way to your dreams. Now, it doesn't have to be a rough road. However, it is my experience that there is no road that isn't bumpy along the way of life. That's a fun ringtone. Hey. So now in our case, you know, Shadow was our first, or actually Paul's first wolf that he procured to start Shadowland Foundation and these educational programs to introduce people to this magnificent creature that man has set out to eradicate on purpose. And that mindset is still alive and well and living. And so his dream for this animal started with Shadow. Now, Alaska was actually chosen by Shadow, not necessarily in Paul's mind. Paul's dream was that he would go 2.5 months after after Shadow was born, he went to get a white male, because Alaska had some brothers. And so he was going to make those two and then create the pack. That was going to be of the programs. This was the dream. This was the mindset of the dream. And Shadow didn't like any of the boys. She liked Alaska. So along the way, I talk about this a lot. You know, we have to listen and look at the flow that is happening sometimes rather than get stuck in the idea of what we want. Stuck in the idea of what the dream is supposed to look like along the way of procuring the dream and being co-creators in your dream. And when I say co-creators, that's because if we are made of the stuff from the Creator, and the Creator created everything, and that thought manifests into form, and we are co-creators with this creative experience and the life force of creativity itself, which the Native Americans call the Great Creator, which is basically, to me, what the law of cause and effect is here on the planet. And we think about it in scientific forms. Because the great mystery is what I call God. And the great mystery is an intelligence that created everything, and we are co-creators with the great Creator of the universal laws of creativity itself. Did I lose you? Good. So it is within our power, and it's also in our hearts to tell us what our dreams are and where we should take our lives and where we want to be in our world. And like Shadow, who was supposed to be the one that spearheaded the programs, but alive and well and living with us, spearheaded the program, and then went on another journey. Now, Alaska, probably, we never saw this in her mind's eye, that she would be the one to basically take on the dream, but she did, which is why I chose her today. And we don't know what their mind experience and their co-creative experience is. We can only guess. I just know that they're sentient beings, that they're intelligent on the land and in nature in a way that is very surprising and very much like us. And yet, of course, because they don't have language and they don't have a logical, conscious mind, they don't get in their own way, like we do. So that's what I want to talk about today. It's like, what does your dream look like? And what are you allowing your dream to come in as? And there's a big difference sometimes. So the pursuit of dreams is a holy act. There's a woman named Layla Akita who said that. And I thought that was, I think it's true. Because you know when you're pursuing something, you're in the flow and it's happening and you can see your dreams come true and you're seeing it manifest and you feel, it feels holy. It feels like you're being taken. It's a holy place to be in, to listen to your heart. So as we think of these thoughts, come on in. Let's go ahead and do our opening meditative song. And so just sit and relax and exhale on the seat that you're sitting in. I know that that chair has you, that you cannot fall, and that Mother Earth and the laws of gravity have the chair. So you can actually relax and let go of yourself. This idea of the great mystery I call God, the creative energy of the universe, the intelligence that made us and every living thing, that we are all unique expressions of this amazing creative force, and that our minds are connected in the oneness to every living person, every living thing, seen and unseen. There is nothing else that we can be except perfect, whole, and complete in every single way. The laws of the universe demand it. And so I claim for each and every one of you that your heart's desire is leading you to your purpose here in this life and beyond. And that it is in our hearts and our minds and our inner voices that the kingdom of heaven is within us. And it looks unique and individual and perfect and whole and complete in the inner wisdom that you hold, that no one else holds for you. So I claim your highest good. I claim your highest purpose for you as an individual. And it looks the way it looks on you, and it's beautiful. And so I say thank you, thank you, thank you for this knowledge, for this amazing gift of this life, this one perfect life that belongs to you, to share your gifts with each and every fiber of your being, with the universe itself, as your purpose. And I release this knowing that the laws of the universe have heard my voice, that knew it before I even spoke it. That the laws of love are holding you in the hands of grace. And I release it knowing that it is done. And we can all say, and so it is. Amen. Namaste. Aho, whatever language that embodies, that helps you embody this truth, this universal truth. Very good. From the same lady, Leila Akita, never give in to the obstacles that lie in your path towards the achievement of your dreams. Never give in. It's the first of the month. It's the first Sunday of the month, so Karen is going to sing for us. Karen Canfield, come back up. Come back up. Come up. She's going to sing a song by Lights called River. And we're just talking dreams today.
Out across cities, I see buildings burn into piles and watch the world in wonder as mountains turn into towers and trees losing their leaves and their faces becoming tired. I wish I could discover something that doesn't expire. Come and stumble me. Take me, river, carry me far, lead me, river, like a mother. Take me over to some other unknown, and me in the undertow. Such are the things that make our building rumble like shadows. Same dynamic that another day would never matter. It really just depends on who's giving and who's receiving, and things that don't make sense are always a little deceiving. Come and humble me. Take me, river, carry me far, lead me, river, like a mother. Take me over to some other unknown, and me in the undertow. Take me, river, carry me far, lead me, river, like a mother. Take me over to some other unknown, and me in the undertow. I wanna go where you're going, follow where following, changing but never change, claiming but never claim. Take me, river, carry me far, lead me, river, like a mother. Take me over to some other unknown, but me in the undertow. Take me, river, carry me far, lead me, river, like a mother. Take me over to some other unknown, but me in the undertow.
Take me over. Take me over. When you think of a river and the way it's flowing and the undercurrents, and sometimes life on your way to your dreams feels like you're, you know what I mean? It's like getting towed under. And anybody been in an undertow before? Yeah. I was in Galveston. I talked about that a couple weeks ago. I was in Galveston. I was 11 or 12 or something like that, middle school. And I was with my girlfriend who was about half the size of me. And I was a really strong swimmer, and so was she. And we got caught in an undertow. And I'm trying to swim towards shore, and we were making no headway. And I saw my dad on the shore in a car you know, I'd buy the car and he was making whatever barbecue or whatever. As we were getting further and further out, he was completely unconscious of where we were. And I looked behind me to see where my friend was, and she was way back there. So I went to go, but I actually swam with the current to go get her. And then together, it took us a long, long time to swim back past that. Now, I didn't have the knowledge that you swim across the undertow. Does everybody know that now? If you don't know, if something's pulling you this way, you go sideways, like out of it, instead of trying to swim out of it. Now, we made it back, but it was probably one of the scariest moments of my life. And yet it was also one of those powerful moments that let me know that I did not panic, that I didn't freak out, that I was able to use the skills that I had learned along the way in middle school to take care of my friend. I had the strength to get her back and through, and to keep my eye on the shore, which was my goal, to get there. And sometimes we don't think about consciously how we set goals to reach certain things, because it wasn't a conscious thought that, okay, I think I'm going to have to, I'll wait here in the undertow and set my goal to help my friend. You know what I mean? This all happens in the moment, in the flow of needing to get from where we were, which was in an undertow, to get back to shore where I needed to go. And that's what this song reminded me of, is what it takes when you make a decision, and the power in that decision. And no matter what life looks like along the way, and you get pulled under sometimes. I've been pulled under many times to get back to the air. And it's a very fine line to understand that the song talks about take me. You know what I mean? Once you've said what you want, you have to release it and know that there are other powers and creative powers in the universe, not just the energy of your decision, but the people that come into your lives to help you along the way. And that's where the great mystery comes in, of how your dreams develop and how they come true. You're not on your own in your decision. You're alone in the water, in the undertow. There are all kinds of forces making sure you get to where you need to go. Now, the great mystery is that, you know, in our story with Shadow left to help us on another side. I know that is true. It breaks our heart. It's a heartbreaker. And I remember when Shadow was sick, Paul would say, what are we going to do about the programs now? How are we ever going to make it? How do we bring it to the children? Which was his goal and his dream, because he thought Shadow was the way. And there are many, many forces behind this event that we call life. Oops. Oops. I wonder what's going on. But I've heard this before and it irritates me, but visions are fulfilled in God's timing. Like there's your time and then there's God's time. And that used to irritate me a lot. It's like, okay, so why should I believe in this outer force if right now I don't even think I can get out of bed? Do you know what I mean? Why should I believe that? Because my dreams and what I want are in God's timing. And I think that's where gratitude comes in. I think you have to live in gratitude, because if I look at the scope of where I've been, even at my worst and my lowest, I was someplace that I had wanted to be and had made it already. Just had further dreams and further goals to get to that didn't look possible in that moment. And so keeping a forward-thinking mind at the same time of being gratitude and having gratitude with right where you are is one of the hardest struggles of your heart, I think, that ever happens. It's like to stand right where you are and go, you know what? This is enough for this moment. I know I'm going here, but right now, wherever you are, to be grateful for this moment, even though that moment, which you set your sights on, has not happened yet. Now this is for, you know, my relationship and our relationship with Shadowland and our dreams and our goals. You know, not just did Shadow get diagnosed with cancer, but Alaska and Dakota had puppies, and then we were evicted from the city of Los Angeles. And told to move within, we were given, how much, 6 weeks. 6 weeks, took and moved in 6 weeks to a place where you can have 10 wild animals. You know what I mean? It's like an impossible task that was given us. And so you can imagine the months that we spent fighting this decision, because we had actually done the right thing and gone and gotten our permits. They just didn't know that they were giving us the wrong thing. So it was their mistake, but still we were told we had to leave. And in Los Angeles County, you cannot have wild animals in a place that you do not own, number one, that is not a property like this. And then you think of being in the middle of North Hollywood going, where are we going to find that? You know what I mean? And be able to have Tree King, you know, and Paul's company continue to support us. So the skills that Paul and I had gained by this time in our lives were the only way, and our spiritual ideas and everything that we had learned up to that moment has to be blessed. Even though the circumstance was crazy, and the circumstance was hard, and the circumstance was so scary that we thought we would lose them and then they would be put down. This is what we were working against, to get to a place where they would not come and take these animals for us. And every single day, that was our thought, that they were going to come today. And we don't talk about this a lot. But along the way to our dream, we spent nearly a year and a half every day worried that they were going to come. We got here. And we're still getting here, you know? And we were dealing with Shadow's cancer at the same time. So, my lesson today, you know, when you talk about dreams and going for your dreams, there's no promise that it's going to be an easy ride. You know, there's no promise that the road is not bumpy, that you will get caught in an undertow sometimes. But had Paul and I not had those tools, that life, do you know what I mean? Just going to school, getting up in the morning and getting there, do you know what I mean? Passing that test, getting through the uncomfortableness, being in a sport where if you fall, you have to get up and do it again, and do it again, and do it again. Until you have the confidence that if you fall, you'll get up again. You know, we watch Wakan bump into walls, trip over everything. Right now, it's a lot of no, quit. This is from the biting and the grabbing. You know, to do anything to keep him from, you know, breaking our skin. But all he's doing is being who he is, which is a baby wolf in captivity, just trying to get through the day. And you can see the joy in his eyes at grabbing my ankles and ripping it like this. And I come back with this, no! And he looks at me like, why? It's so hard not to have an inner giggle, and yet he cannot do these programs and behave this way. So the balance is in the loving discipline. But each time he stumble, every time he tries something new, like the other night we were climbing up the table. Now he can climb up on the back table. If anybody's been in our back enclosure, he climbs up it and he gets up there and he sits with his pack and he's chewing on their stuff. Freedom doesn't like it. And so He gets growled at now by Alaska because Alaska's job as the perfect mother now is to push him away and wean him. And so he can't get near her without her growling and snapping at him. Now this is what they do. And you see his disappointment and his learning. Now we had him out in the back enclosure and all of them would not let him get too far. You know, but this is how they teach him how far they can go and how far they can't go. They're giving him boundaries. And he literally got so upset with Ojin that he attacked her. And Ojin looked at him like, as surprised as I was. She was like, really? You're thinking about me like that? But he doesn't like being given boundaries. We're witnessing it here. You know what I mean? It's like these lessons that we learn and that we teach our children to keep them safe, to teach them the way to get through this life, through those stumbles. You know? He did, he ran, he snapped at her. He snapped at her. You know how they like do the attack and his whole body is like leapt right at her. And she looked at him like, and then he jumped on her back. Just like, jumped on her back and he had his paws all the way up here. I couldn't believe that he's so tall now that he could even do that. And he was like, you leave me alone. I'm bigger, better than you. And then the rest of the pack came and showed him what for. And they all came surrounding him. He was like, oops. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, he got really little, really fast. But this is all in training. And it looks really bumpy. You know, he tried to run too fast and down the ramp back there and fell off.
Oh, wow.
And it kind of stunned him. And we were like, hey. You know, and of course the pack surrounded him and checked him out and lifted him up and turned him over. And this is what they do. This is what they do. Just what our parents did to us to get us to and through what we need to know. And all those falls and all those stumbles and all those bloody noses and scabbed knees and broken limbs and broken hearts and moves and transitions and changes. We're not conscious of them, but they do prepare us to make it through whatever life brings us. But without the knowledge that you have a purpose, without the knowledge that your heart's desire is why you're here and to fulfill that, there's no co-creation. Do you know what I mean? There's no way to co-create if you let it beat you. There's a Cheyenne saying that says our first teacher is our own heart. And we can only be so lucky to have parents that start there with us. That their hearts are not what they want, you know what I mean, what they want for you. That it's your heart telling you what is important and that is the lesson. And so those stumbles and those running into the walls and falling down and falling off of things, you know, climbing up trees and allowing and releasing your children to express themselves that way. It's a picture of Vivian online, underwater. It's great. Let him swim. Let him go under. Let him explore. Let him learn. Let him learn. Sometimes life knocks you on your ass. Get up, get up, get up. Happiness is not the absence of problems. It's the ability to deal with them. Now, this is a little long, but I really love it. Paul Coelho wrote this. It's the possibility of having a dream come true that makes life interesting. Before a dream is realized, the soul of the world tests everything that was learned along the way. It does this not because it's evil, but so that we can, in addition to realizing our dreams, master the lessons that we have learned as we move toward that dream. That's the point at which most people give up. At this point, tell your heart that the fear of suffering is worse than the suffering itself. And that no heart ever suffers when it goes in search of its dreams. Because every second of the search is a second's encounter with God and with eternity. Every moment that you give yourself over to yourself is holy and sacred. And I think that's what that means. So cherish your visions and your dreams as they are the children of your soul. The blueprints of your ultimate achievements. One of my favorite things about you, which would have never happened in my house, my point is, I'm sorry, but Sarah's put online a picture of a wolf that she drew on her bedroom wall. She's allowed to do art on her walls without fear of punishment of, you know, how many crayon marks did you get by accident on your bedspread and, get killed for it, You know what I mean? Expressing who you were, and bedspread wasn't that important as your heart at that moment. Julie Cameron, who wrote The Artist's Way. Do you guys know that book? Stop telling yourself that dreams don't matter, that they are only dreams and that you should be more sensible. I had a conversation with somebody today about that. Do you know what I mean? He has an opportunity to go and do his dream. His dream came true. He's been working on it for five years. And his girlfriend and his family is going, no, you need to get a real job. I was like, what? And what does that mean? What does that mean in sensible terms? What does that mean to your heart? That the world's order is more important than who you are and how you participate in it. There's no other message you can get from that. And the only thing that person can hear is that your purpose is not holy. And to break his heart with the people who he loves the most, who don't understand that in him. The Tuscarora, it's a tribe, they have this saying, those who have one foot in a canoe and one foot in a boat are going to fall into the river. Do you guys get that? Yeah. You cannot have one foot over here and try and get over there by staying in the canoe. Two. It takes a leap. It takes a release. It takes the flow. It takes the surrender to your own self. You must go after your wish. As soon as you start to pursue a dream, your life wakes up and everything has meaning. Even the bad stuff. Or what we call bad. Even the hard stuff, I'll call it. Even the heartbreaking stuff. If one advances confidently in the direction of his dreams and endeavors to live the life which he has imagined, he will meet with a success unexpected in common hours. Henry David Thoreau. I used to believe that this was just for special people and I was ordinary. And now that I understand it, all of it in a way that I think I do, I believe that ordinary is the brilliant. Ordinary is the special. There is no such thing as ordinary. We are all it. The it of, you know what I mean, the stars, the star-making process. It is ordinary for us to be magnificent. In other words. You have to be enthusiastic enough to do what is required for achieving your dreams and goals. To accomplish great things, we must not only act, but also dream. Not only plan, but you have to believe. You have to believe. And if you can't believe, pretend that you believe until you believe. Say you believe until it becomes so. And that's when hope turns into faith. Whatever you do or dream you can do, begin it. Boldness has genius, power and magic in it. Begin it now, that's certain. And Ralph Waldo Emerson says this: cultivate the habit of being grateful for every good thing that comes to you, and to give thanks continuously. And because all things have contributed to your advancement, you should include all things in your gratitude. That's why I love the medicine wheel. Great mystery is, this is a Lakota prayer. Great mystery, teach me how to trust my heart, my mind, my intuition, my inner knowing, the senses of my body, the blessings of my spirit. Teach me to trust these things so I may enter my sacred space and love beyond my fear, and thus walk in balance with the passing of each glorious sun. I love that. My sacred space, so that I can give it out, so that I can share it out. Meister Eckhart says, if the only prayer you say was thank you, that would be enough. So I say thank you for this moment, for these spaces, for this property, for this dream that my husband allowed me to flow with him. It was never in my mind. And I'm going to invite Karen to come back up. She's going to sing Moon River for us by Henry Mancini and Johnny Mercer. Okay.
Wider than a mile, I'm crossing you in style someday. Old dream maker, you heartbreaker, wherever you're going, I'm going your way. Two drifters off to see the world. There's such a lot of world to see. We're after the same music, waiting round the bend, my huckleberry friend, Moon River and me. Moon River, wider than a mile, I'm crossing you in style someday. Old dream maker, you heartbreaker, wherever you're going, I'm going your way. Two drifters off to see the world. There's such a lot of world to see.
that song was written for her voice. Right? Ooh. Wow. That was beautiful. I don't know if you remember, or if you're old enough to remember. Yes, no, no. There's a flow if I ever heard one. That song was written for the movie Breakfast at Tiffany's for Audrey Hepburn. For her character, she called herself Holly Golightly, who was born basically in the sticks and had a dream of an adventure, but she pretended she was someone else until the end. So it's her journey to find her way back to who she really was. It's a beautiful choice to bring today, so thank you so much. I found this quote from a man named Brian Spellman, and he says, "Dreams don't come true, they are true." So think about that. They are true already. You are in the process of being inside your dream already. So, oh my gosh. I just want to hear her sing again. Okay, for those of you who just joined us and for those of you who have not been here before, we have what we call the burden basket, which is over here. And the Native Americans believed that you did not carry more burdens than you could handle. So what we do with that is that you write them down and you put them in the basket, and I will burn them with a prayer and release them for you. So we're talking about release today. Your burdens, those undertows, the things that keep you from seeing the truth about who you are, you can write in that basket. But then we also have the joy jar, which is on the other end of the spectrum over here. So you can also write something that you're grateful for or something that you're happy about, and solidify that into the world and affirm that and put that in there. You can also put your dreams in that basket. We do not pass a basket here, but for the wolves, if you have a monetary gift that you can share with us, we open our hearts for that, and we so appreciate it and thank you very much for your contributions. Goes to the wolves. There's a couple of bowls there. You can set them in there. And we also have a little gift shop over there that people have given of their time and their creativity and their businesses to donate these items to us to help us raise money for the wolves. And then these two walking sticks. Aren't they beautiful?
The label says who made it and where the wood came from.
Oh, yeah.
That one came from Shop,
Yeah.
the other came from Bishop, the wood.
So this is made by Margie, and it's wood from Shadowland. Wow, I didn't even know that. How beautiful is that? But they're going to stay up here for now because I like being surrounded by them, and this is the other one. So Margie isn't here today, but these are gorgeous and beautiful. Keep you connected to the earth. I think Paul might be around to smoke people off today if you would like to have the sage and a purification in that way. I think I would kind of like that after this talk. So who's available for that? But I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for allowing me the gift of your time so that I can share this with you, to share this message and share these animals with you. So afterwards, when we kind of congregate and you can have some snacks, we'll go and see the wolves, and bless you, bless you, bless you, and all of your dreams. May they all come true. We're going to sing our closing song, Face of God. Vivian, you want to come up too? So it goes like this. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You tuck it in. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You ready? You ready? Okay.
I'm ready.
Hit it, Paul. Did you say hit it, Paul?